Hello, everyone. Welcome to Moonride. This is Dave Johnson. I'm chatting the man in the moon today, chatting to you from Europe. Two questions I'm going to ask today. The first one is no kings. I want everybody to know how absolutely proud I am of America today, that we all went out and did our duty, risked, and were very peaceful. The question is, will that make a difference, and when and how? Second point is just dealing with the extraordinary anxiety. I am so stressed out, and the more I watch anything, any kind of news, the more stressed out I'm getting. And I'd like to know, exactly what I should do other than not watch quite so much news, how we can manage the extraordinary stress that I'm sure all y'all are feeling. Let's take a look at question number one. Here's the first question, the first thing I see, and I see a road, and it's like a sort of golden road. And to me, this is the answer. This protest, the way that it has been handled, the peaceful way, the extraordinary way that people have kept spotters out to make sure there's no violence, etc. This is the way. And also, at the end of the road, and I have to tell you, I don't see quite an end of the road. I'm not sure that's the point yet. But I do see people in the White House really, again, panicking. And I specifically see Trump, and he's getting really, really, really upset. So, just a little bit of schadenfreude here. It works just because it makes certain people angry when you are peaceful. And in some sense, that's a satisfaction. But I think it also, as I'm seeing them, Trump's yelling it again at people in his staff. He's yelling at them. He's really, really mad. He's really upset. Some of them are kind of getting annoyed that he's blaming them for this protest. What does this have to do with them? And it's kind of like a karmic thing. You chose to work for this guy. Now you're going to be responsible for every bad thing that happens. He's yelling at everybody. And they're not as motivated. The people who work for Trump are not as motivated to work for him because of the way that it's going about. So it does make that much of a difference. It's like, we want to think of like practical, what's the Supreme Court going to do kind of stuff. But at the same time, there's also just psychologically, if you affect people psychologically, it changes their ability to be effective. And that's what I see. And I see even like the face of one of like super Trump supporter, and she's just looking a little bit annoyed. And like a sort of disappointment. And I'm really resisting the my response, which is going to be like, ha, you got what you deserved. Okay, obviously that's not productive. But if you're feeling that way, I just want you to know for a moment, it's okay. But I do feel like it's not that only. He is also continually stressing himself out. It is frankly moving him closer to death. When people have that sort of beeline for screaming, it ages them. It makes them, makes their blood pressure rise. He's looking really red. And he turns one way and he turns the other. He doesn't know what to do. I gotta point out, this is the solution. There's no way the conservatives can spin this. They tried to. The only way they could spin it is that if there were images of the protesters being violent. Keep in mind, those are going to be manipulated. So it has to be, as we have discovered, that peace is the way. You are all being watched whenever you do this. And in response, we all need to be aware and watching the members of our team and the members of the other team and just be sure So, Spirit, is this going to make a difference? Is this going to change things? That's what I want to know. Yes. So there's a gate in front of the White House, and now I'm kind of getting to the end of the road, right? There's a gate in front of the White House, like a black gate, but part of it, you didn't know there was a door there? It opens up. All right, so let's go in there. There's a fountain in front of the White House. Water always has a transformative power for me. There's this fountain. Ooh, this is cool. I'm just seeing certain people walk through the fountain as they come out the other side. They look different. And I'm also seeing the political candidates that are the people more of the left, like Mamdani, sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name. There are other, Bernie Sanders, AOC type characters. They are also being transformed by this. Understand that a Mamdani, no one would have given them the time of day 10 years ago. He would have been just this wacky leftist. People are now, needing someone who's going to advocate for them. And they're not buying the lies as much. So they're walking through. It's great. Mamdani's now walked through, and now he's opening a gate for me. Thank you, Mamdani. This is great. So there's others, they're just lining up on either side of a sort of walkway. Oh, they're showing me the destruction of the White House, the portion that was already destroyed. There's going to be something that happens because of this building this ridiculous palace. I mean, we've lived without this auditorium for how many years? We need it today. Why? And it's being like adorned with gold, and it's all very tacky, and it looks like Trump Tower. It's just god awful kind of stuff. But it's kind of like I see it sort of halfway getting built, and then becoming like a unfinished liability. I don't think that Trump is going to be able to finish this building, and whoever follows, the VP who follows him, is going to get stuck. Here is this unfinished building, and it's going to be like a symbol of everything that's wrong, of this unfinished building. It's not going to have the money. It's not going to have the allocated funds. So here they've destroyed this portion of the White House to build something else, and it is like unfinished, and you get pictures of the White House as this incomplete, half-built condo stuck to it. It's just awful. It's so tacky. It just these metal bits and pieces sticking out the side, and every single day it's like, how sometimes just a visual will really change people's minds. Like I'm thinking of the American Beauty. That movie changed so many people's minds about gay and lesbian people, for example, in America. It's not factual. It's visual. It has an emotional impact. And the emotional impact of an incomplete White House, of somebody who decided to stick a $200 million tribute to themselves on the side of it, while your insurance is going up twice as much, is just it's a little bit like Trump is a bit like Teflon. Things will bounce off of him. He doesn't care anyway. They will always go to support him. But JD Vance, he's not getting the same. Maybe even JD Vance is like an excuse to dislike the Republicans. They didn't have an excuse because Don is made of Teflon. But JD Vance is like a sponge. You're literally seeing as a sponge. And he doesn't know how to handle stuff. He's just going to get bossed around on the stage. He's just getting hammered with questions. When's this going to be finished? Why are we paying for it? Nobody's afraid to ask him questions. I wish the media had a little bit more courage regarding Donald Trump. But this isn't going to be an issue when it gets to him. It's not Nobody's going to say, oh, you just like JD Vance, that's why you're just a JD Vance hater, because they don't like him either. So it just, in some sense, I kind of get the feeling that this is the way it's supposed to be. That we're supposed to see how bad it could get. Everything is wrong. Everything that could go wrong is wrong. And the economy is really, I'm seeing a zigzagging sort of economic up, down, up, down, up, down sort of crazy, and it does then finally go, and there's a super steep decline. People don't have confidence in JD Vance. For some mysterious reason, they have confidence in Trump, but not JD. All right. So, and he doesn't have any idea what to do. It's not just like he can't respond rhetorically. He can't answer, but he literally does not know what else to do, how to fix that. He doesn't have any experience, and he doesn't have anything that inspires any confidence. So he also can't convince people what to do. People view him as a kind of redneck loser, and that's not somebody that American business people are going to follow. And now I'm seeing Trump, and it's weird because he's behind bars, and we all expected him to go to jail, and then he wriggled his way out of it. So why is Trump behind bars? Oh, it may just be symbolic. This is it's probably just symbolic. This is like how he is carried off into the next life as a criminal, and that's how he is viewed. I would imagine also, ultimately, there will be enough information that we'll find out more and more and more about him, such that it's like history needs to know that a president got away with this, and that the president truly was a criminal at heart. Okay, one more time. How is this going to change things? A new door opens. A new way of being and thinking opens. People get sick of the chaos. They want something that's predictable. They want a government that doesn't work against itself. And that's the change. The other change is that the people who are progressive have become stronger through this process. Don't forget that there's always learning, and learning is always growth, and that's always good. This is not going to last forever. It's going to change. Change is the constant. It looks very bright, actually. I literally see the door of the White House opening and going inside, and people having a party, but it seems relaxed. It seems like people really genuinely like each other and really are spending some time with one another. They're not working because they're afraid of each other. They're working because they have respect for one another. They want to see what can be accomplished. Okay, so, and again, I see Mamdani. I also see people on the far left of the Democratic spectrum and the sort of very rightist portion of the Democratic spectrum. It's like they have come back to a reality where they are working together, and the power shift has occurred in such a way that people are a little bit more open to the ideas that the progressive are presenting. All right, let's take a look at anxiety. All right, Spirit, what can we do about feelings of anxiety? Long-term futures. And whenever I am looking at YouTube, I'm just like, oh, now, oh my God, and I'm kind of catastrophizing myself. Like, if it's this bad now, how bad is it going to be next week? And now I'm feeling a bit more like, look, in 5 years, this will appear less relevant. It won't get worse. It'll be, consistently bad for a while, but it won't get worse. Look at the positives and the growth. This will help, and don't watch nearly so much YouTube. it's just going to drive you crazy. And do what you can, take time out, have some fun, go into nature and look at the positive things. Really look at nature and you'll see the beauty there. And Mother Nature bats last. Thanks so much for watching.